Good afternoon. It's 1:30 on a Monday where I am. It's moon day, so I normally don't do anything on Mondays. Sundays too, unless I feel like it, but Mondays is pretty much for me. Skincare routine, beauty routine. I shave my head. It's been a week or so. I shave my head Mondays, Wednesday. Well, shave my body Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and that's because I've noticed that I have the least amount of issues with any tugging, any ingrown hairs, and things like that on those days. Now, if you want to get astrological with it, Mondays are ruled by the moon, which is watery. Wednesdays are ruled by Mercury, which can be a little but I don't notice any issues. And Fridays are Venus days, which I do my full entire routine on Venus days. I romance myself on Fridays. Every day, but really Fridays. I notice when you start to get your nervous system together and you start to slow down intentionally, I notice that I feel more excited to do my routines on these days and sometimes during certain hours. So I've had people say, well, no, that's not true. But I look at them and I'm like, you're stressed all the time, honey. I'm not listening to you. You live a life and that's still in survival. I'm not listening to you. You literally cannot tell. You literally do not know. So once you start to gather your nervous system together and slow down, get rid of anything that doesn't allow you to slow down other than your children. I'll even say your pets. If your pets don't allow you to slow down, think about putting them into training, get training for them. I don't give a fuck. Well, my pet, you can train your dog. I have I have a cousin now who was fascinated by dogs, and they were a dog groomer for many years, and they even their dog groomer I think was a trainer or something. Well, their boss was a trainer or something, and they trained their dogs and helped their friends train their dogs, and their dog went from being bouncy as hell, and she was a wolfhound, a Russian wolfhound. If you want to know what those look like, Google it. Big ass dog, and like a greyhound on steroids. She's like a cat now. Literally, she's like a cat now. So they tend to be high energy. They do slow down, but I've even seen them with other dogs that they have trained to get used to listening. Because I know so many people who have dogs. There's some of their dogs don't listen to them. They don't respect them at all, and they think that that's how a dog is supposed to be or animal is supposed to be. I've seen people train cats, and usually it's them training themselves to live with the cat. But I've seen people train cats, and their behavior is different. Some people allow life to happen to them. Let me say that one more time. Some people allow life to happen to them and don't even attempt to take charge of their life because they don't think they have any control over it. This is just shea butter. Some people won't even try or put effort in because they think, oh, well, what I have is what I have. There's no sense in trying. You didn't even try. How do you know? You didn't even try. How do you know? I'm somebody who loves to be experimental. I will try a lot of things just to see what comes about of it. So you have to have that level of whimsy. You have to have that level of curiosity and keep that, because you could change your life just by trying shit. You can change your life just by trying shit. Half of the shit that I've gotten and half of the experience that I've had, I was literally just trying shit. I wanna see what this does. Let me try it. I wanna see how far in this area I can get. Let me try it. I saw a post on TikTok where essentially it was a woman who was asking all of the porn stars. I'm not censoring myself. YouTube, you can censor me. I'm not censoring myself. But basically asking the porn stars about their routine. And I was scrolling through the comments, and there were so many women, and I could tell they were probably young girls who were assuming things literally as though it was truth. And I'm like, babe, do you even know any porn stars? You're assuming. You're not even asked. Some of them were asking questions like, oh, how do you do this? And I want to know how they do that. And, is it natural? Like, how do they make it look so good? Some of them were genuinely curious. And there were others who just like, I think that if you are naturally born this way, your body just looks this way. And somebody was like, wait, so you're saying that their bodies are naturally just more hygienic? And this person was like, well, yeah, that's why they got chosen to be X, Y, and Z. And somebody was like, oh, honey, no. And it's really fascinating how I've noticed that many a person, because there was somebody I've watched, and they said, oh, I think that if people just have the information, they'll go so much further. Some people don't want the information. They want it to be easy, which is why this new era of AI, this new era of, let the robots do it. And it's going to take over for a lot of people. And I don't just mean, like assistants here and there. I mean, some people, it's going to be like our robots. Some people are going to not, some people don't want to do anything. And that's their choice, that's their right. But then they'll go to people who have attempted to show them what they've done, who have attempted to give them their routines in the blueprint. And then they'll just say, oh, you're privileged and you have it easy. I'm like, this isn't even my best in terms of how I look. This is me going through a transformation to go to step up to the next level, because I had to get I had to basically add more calories to my body. I'm not even at my beginning of my peak right now. When I've been at my best, I had an 8-step beauty routine. And I love doing it because I did it long enough that I saw the results and I was glowing. I did not need any makeup. Even these little bags here, they were non-existent. My pores were, I mean, you have pores, but they weren't easily seen because they were more plump. They were more hydrated. Am I worse? I had these lines here when I go away, when I stop frowning, or when they were indented into my skin. Child, I was stressed. When I was drinking a lot more, my skin was so dry. Oh my goodness, it was so bad. So I added collagen. I would have a green smoothie or a vegetable in the morning for breakfast. My body can't take sweets in the morning. I don't know how. I used to do all those years of cereal and oatmeal in the morning. I usually eat oatmeal in the afternoon. Like if I want a snack. Or like I save it for really when it's warm outside. I'll eat it, like a little bowl of it maybe before lunch or whenever I eat my meals. I don't wake up when normal people do. So lunch for me is like I don't know what it would be for them. I don't live a normal life. But like I said, collagen, and you have to do it long term. Some people want to see the results in a week or 2 days. I did collagen for like 2 years. Definitely made a difference. If you are over the age of 25, you should be adding collagen into your diet. The creams and serums don't do shit. They look like they're doing shit, but they don't do shit. Like, you have to take it over time along with balancing out every other part of your diet. I added more fruits. Oh my goodness. When I added more water-filled fruits, peaches, mangoes. I love mangoes. Pineapples. If you can't do pineapples because they're too acidic, mangoes and peaches, whether they're canned or fresh or even frozen. I can't really do cold things, I realize. I need things that warm my body because I am naturally warm, but too much cold, it does not, my body doesn't like it. Oh, that's also the other thing. Ayurvedic. Living my life with Ayurvedic methods. So my body is more, hold on, I'm going to look up the actual definitions. My body is, hold on. Ayurvedic diet. There we go. The Ayurvedic diet is a traditional Indian system of medicine that emphasizes a holistic approach to health through diet, lifestyle, and herbal remedies. It's based on the belief that the body is made up of 3 doshas, energies. You have Vata, which is air and space, Pitta, which is fire and water, and Kapha, which is earth and water. My body is more Vata Pitta. It's a combination. You can have a combination. I can't eat anything too spicy or else my gut health is like, bitch, what you doing? But at the same time, I can't eat anything that's too like acidic or too cold. because my body's also like, "Bitch, what are you doing?" I have to be right and I have to be balanced because I'm already very hot. I'm very watery and I'm very hot. So too much fiery stuff kind of dries me out, and too much air. I gotta look up what air is in terms of the diet. Let's see. Air, 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 air. From what's the name of that movie? I can't think of it. Oh, this is another version of it. Vayu or air, Jala, pop-ups, or water, Akash, which is space, Prithvi or earth, and Teja is fire. Oh yeah, those are the 5 elements. Okay, and then the 3 energy patterns. Vata stands for air and ether, the ethers. This dosha maintains electrolyte balance and helps eliminate waste. Pitta stands for fire and water. Pitta regulates body temperature and our hunger and thirst mechanisms. And then Kapha stands for earth and water. This dosha is responsible for healthy joints. Yeah, Vata governs catabolism, or the breakdown of substances, and the individuals with Vata dominance often have a lean or delicate frame. Pitta, which oversees metabolism, is associated with a strong appetite and a naturally muscular build. It doesn't take much for me to gain muscle. Like if I walk, you can see like my calves, no matter how big or small I have been, my calves have always been on, damn, do you live? Like, do you run? Like when I wear heels, people's like, oh my goodness, your calves. I'm like, my calves have always just naturally been like strong as fuck, defined. And Vata is definitely when I'm not eating my emotions, when I'm not swallowing any truth or anything, I do naturally have a natural lean frame. And for the first time in my adult life, I'm seeing that because, baby, I've been fat and chunky my entire freaking life. And that was because I wasn't balanced in my body. That was because I was always stressed. My nervous system was always on 1,000. I was never at peace. So once I got that together, I see just how lean I am. Like I could gain the muscle. Like if I wanted to intentionally lift weights, eat more, I could gain the muscle, but I'll still be lean. I won't have much fat on me. I would have to engorge myself with eating so much stuff in order for me to gain all of that weight again. And at my heaviest, I was like 240. I swear I was up to like 250 because there was like 6 months I did not weigh myself. And when I had actually started to lose weight, I went to the doctor and I was like 219. And I was like, so I lost because I could tell. I could tell. I can absolutely tell. It feels different. So I'm a combination of Vata Pitta. And Kapha is linked to anabolism, the process of building and repairing tissue. Tissueism? That's a big word for Elmo. Is tied to a slower metabolism. And Kapha dominant people are described as having a larger or sturdier frame. Might as well get into it. Let's talk about it. So I'm reading an article. This is from today.com. That's just the first article I clicked on. There are actual Ayurvedic practitioners who have their own website. So go ahead and look them up. And videos. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. I have a whole playlist of talking about the Ayurvedic way. So Vata dominance with its cool and dry qualities. Vata is balanced by warm, moist foods such as soups, stews, casseroles. I love me a casserole. Even if you don't call it a casserole, I love me a cooked apples. I love cooked apples. Oh my goodness. That's why I used to put cooked apples when I would make my oatmeal from scratch with just a regular oatmeal. I would put apples in it. Sometimes I would cook them on the stove. I would just pop them in the microwave. I put warm water or milk. Almond milk is really good. It makes it more of a dessert if you want to be really fat and get your health in. You can put milk or almond milk, coconut milk. I think I did coconut milk once, and it was actually good. It tasted like it wasn't too coconutty. I've also done brown sugar, cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, because nutmeg tends to be kind of strong, and maybe a little bit of cloves, just because cloves is good for you. And it kind of gives you that fall apple pie type of, what is it called? Not all, is it allspice? Or is it like pumpkin spice? Whatever. And some brown sugar. And you can do a little bit of honey if you don't want to do brown sugar. So Vata is balanced by warm, moist foods such as soups, stews, casseroles, cooked apples, and soaked dates. Oh yeah, you did used to put dates in my smoothies and in my oatmeal. I haven't had a date in a while. Adding warm spices can also help bring balance to this dosha. Curry, I've been putting curry on everything, like actual curry, blend of seasonings on my salads, in my soup. Like I will sprinkle a little extra on top and stir it in. It is so, I love curry. It's so good. Some of the worst foods for Vata dominance are nightshade vegetables like potatoes, peppers, and eggplant, instead of crunchy nuts and seeds. And I love crunchy nuts and seeds. But my gut health be like, so you thought this is the decision that you wanted to make. That's all of the choices that you had. I love almonds. I love cashews. I love all of those things. But instead of crunchy nuts and seeds, try nut butter or nut milk. Almond milk. I've done almond butter. Never tried cashew butter. Do they even make? Is that? I mean, I'm sure it's probably a thing. But I like almond butter, peanut butter. I can't do too much peanut butter because I've eaten a whole jar in 2 days. It's so good too. Cold or raw frozen foods and sweets are not ideal for Vata types. Yeah, I can do a raw salad if I don't have much other choice. And I do love a raw salad. My body does not. I notice that even if there's no pain in my stomach, I get bloated very easily if I do cold, raw, or frozen foods and sweets. And I love a smoothie. So I have to do that ever so often. Because if I feel the upset. In the words of Cardi upset. I feel the upset in my stomach the more because I haven't been doing a lot of what I used to. It's very easy for me now to notice those things in my body. So Pitta dominance, because I'm a combination of the two. Fiery characteristics benefit from cooling in non-spicy foods. Vegetarian meals are particularly supportive with an emphasis on raw vegetables. That's funny. I can do sometimes. Like if I feel like I'm running a little hot, like or sluggish or something, then I'll do they say like a salad during warmer seasons. Like it's a time and a place. I can't do it all the time, but there are times when I'll start to notice I want some hummus with some red peppers. Ooh, red peppers and hummus. Sometimes cucumbers. I can't do raw cucumbers all the time, but I love a raw cucumber. Grains such as barley, rice, and oats are staples for people with Pitta dominance. Yeah, I eat rice at least once or twice a week. It also helps keep me a lot fuller because I eat a lot lighter most of the time. To manage Pitta's fiery nature, hot spices including cinnamon and turmeric should be limited. Salt, coffee, alcohol, and heavy oils are best consumed sparingly. This is true. Very true. I notice it slows me down. I need to be cooler. So Kapha dominance. Kapha types find balance in light leafy greens and other vegetables grown above the ground. Millet, or millet, I think it's Malay. I could be wrong. Millet is one of the preferred grains, and legumes are a better choice than animal-based proteins. Honey is the only recommended sweetener, and Kapha types can enjoy a variety of spices. Since Kaphas tend to have a slower metabolism, they should limit sweets, fried or greasy foods, and dairy products. Excuse me. Additionally, iced beverages are not advised for this dasha. That's why I say like I could do iced beverages and sometimes dairy because I am Pitta dominant as well. Well, Vata Pitta, I'm a combination. Sometimes I do need to be cooled down, but like this summer it was so hot and I noticed I was like, I need some ice water. I never crave ice water, but it was very humid and very hot this summer. And I was like, why am I craving ice water? course, because of the weather change. So my body needed to cool down. I don't even remember the last time I drank ice water. It's been years because I know my body likes really warm water. Like this was boiling hot at first. It's a little warmer than room temp now, but really warm water also helps with digestion. You drink really warm water. If you're a little constipated, drink mostly warm water. Stay in a home because it may slow your body down a little bit because it's trying to move your bowels and get them working and relaxing. I think also softening up maybe. I don't know the ins and outs. Maybe softening up your bowels, your bowel movement. Really warm water I do after dinner. Lunch is my biggest meal, but after lunch and dinner, I do a cup of really warm water. And I notice my digestive system, I barely have any issues. That was a lot. But, okay. Yeah, cold water, I don't drink cold water. But I noticed this summer I drank a little bit more cold water. My body was running really hot. So when you slow down, when you start to work on your nervous system little by little, you notice these things and you start to listen to your body. Your body always tells you what's wrong. Our bodies try to figure out what's wrong because that's the point. Our bodies take care of ourselves. So just like your teeth, if you take care of your teeth and your body, it will take care of you. My mother at one point couldn't eat certain rices. Like we used to, on a weekly basis, which was probably too much, or bi-weekly, we would always go and get some curry out on Friday, like how some people do pizzas. We lived in the city, so there was like a million curry outs around from us. And sometimes we would, I'd say maybe twice a month, we would go and get, sometimes every weekend, we would go and get some curry out. And it would either be orange chicken with rice, of course, broccoli. We loved our vegetables. Or it would be chicken and broccoli, beef and broccoli, or sometimes she would do shrimp and broccoli. We rarely did anything other than that. And like a spring roll or maybe an egg roll if they didn't have pork. But we would do that. And the rest of the time we would normally eat well-balanced foods. But she started to not be able to eat the rice from the curry out. Never had an issue. And she would try to eat it and it would make her sick and she would throw it up. I still don't know what was going on. And this was years ago. Because if you know Union Station, this was when they had, when the movie theater was still open in Union Station. This was like before 2011. I do know that much. I don't know. I still don't know what was going on. So she stayed away from all rice. I think it was how the places around us cooked their rice. Because when she would cook it at home, it would be fine. I don't know if they weren't cooking it enough but we stopped going because she started reacting like that. And I was like, well, if it's making you sick, no, we're not going to go. But I don't know. She never had any issue from anywhere else. And we had different places that we would go to. But her body was just like, no, get this out of me. But she listened, and after a while she started making her own rice again. We started doing jasmine rice, and she never had an issue. I don't know what it was. And I think I did have an issue like that. I think it might have been her gut health. Her body was telling her we needed a break. Because when I had that issue, maybe a year or so ago, and my body was reacting like that with rice, and it was well cooked, it wasn't bad or anything, but it literally was making me sick and making me feel like I needed to throw up. Like I wouldn't be able to get through like 2 or 3 tablespoons of it. I think it was my body telling me, no, this is not what I want right now. I think that's what it was. Body will tell you. So the benefits of the Ayurvedic diet, it focuses on whole plant-based foods that are inherently nutrient rich. Research consistently supports the benefits of a plant-based diet for mental and physical well-being. I agree. I prefer more plant-based leaning. And then if I notice my body wants a burger, because that's the only way I eat beef, or my body wants chicken, is starting to not taste good to me. It tastes like dead flesh. No matter how many seasonings and sauces you put on it while I'm chewing it, I'm like, mm. So I'll definitely do fish, salmon. I've been eating a lot more seafood, and that could be related to a mood booster. Like you want to feel a lot more joy, happiness, or whatever. And I needed those nutrients, but mostly I'm plant-based. My body likes it. I can't do too much dairy, and if I do, I enjoy it. I make it worth it. Like I'm baking something or something like that. and it's good. But however, Ayurveda is more than dietary choices. It takes a holistic approach to health, emphasizing the importance of balancing your dosha through lifestyle. Daily movement, including yoga and meditation, is a cornerstone of this philosophy and other significant offers significant health benefits. Yeah, I do. Damn it. I hit the table. I do yoga. When I eat a lot more, I have to make myself do yoga because my body's just like, I just want to sit here. So I've been playing with our dogs, using them. Well, they've been using me too to get out the energy. And I've been doing belly dancing. I have this one belly dancing routine I'll link below that my back doesn't hurt, my hips don't hurt. I feel strong as hell. I just feel good. So belly dancing, yoga, flexibility. I don't do any high intensity workouts anymore. When my body's nice and warmed up, like if I've been doing my routine prior for a few days, I could run. I do enjoy running, but I have to make sure that my joints, my muscles, my what do you call this? My vagus nerve, which is in the back of your neck, and it basically runs through your entire digestive system. I have to make sure that that's nice and warmed up and balanced before I dare run, because I try running without paying attention to that, and my entire body will feel like tense. Because trauma, working out is a form of trauma. Like you putting your body through something very rigorous. So if you don't do your cool down stretches and stuff, other than steroids, there's a reason why people who work out really heavy got some nasty ass moves. This is fenugreek tea as well. You want to taste good? Now, if you're taking anything with blood thinners or you got blood issues, please go see your doctor before taking fenugreek. I have some, and this is like a teaspoon of fenugreek seeds, and this was in some boiling hot water. That's the fast way to do it. Or you can boil some water and let the fenugreek seeds sit in the water for 24 hours, and it'll really get in there. But you want to smell good, smell like honey, and your urine and stuff smell like honey, fenugreek tea. Do your research, please, because it affects different bodies differently. So you can't say, well, see, she told me to do fenugreek tea. If you are a grown-ass adult or you have sound body and mind, I expect you to always do research on what I tell you. Okay? All right. I'm not going to read the rest of this, but I noticed, when I eat according to what my body likes, like what they call the elimination diet, you start taking out things to see how your body reacts to not having them. And you do it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. And then you essentially kind of start from a base, usually plant-based. And then you start adding in things one by one. Does my body like this after eating it for a few days? Yes. Are you okay? Do I notice anything? And if you want to keep up with that for like 2 weeks or something, and then add the next thing to see if it's okay, your body will definitely let you know, oh, I don't like that. And you can figure out exactly what your body doesn't. Damn it. That means get up. You can see exactly what your body doesn't like. And a lot of times people eat too many fried foods, too many fatty foods, too many sugary foods, too much oil, too much grease, too much alcohol, too many sweet drinks. Those are pretty much the 7 things. Not enough vegetables. And not enough fruit at all. Like, I notice when my body doesn't eat enough fruit, my body be yelling at me. Really be yelling at me. Like, girl, no. And I only don't eat fruit when my body is, when something's going on, essentially, in my life. But my body needs the fruit, like, needs it. I'll do apples a few times a week because the skin is kind of tough for my body to digest. But it's good for there's 2 types of fibers, water soluble and something else. And you need both. So I'll do apples. I love apples. I could eat them every day, really. But I'll do it with the skin twice a week. Or I'll cook it in a way that the skin gets soft. And then I can eat it so it's easier for my body to digest. I'll do that. But my body loves fruit so much. And it tastes so good. And you notice it makes your body it makes it easier for your body to digest foods. It helps you to, well, all of that really. What else? I do like bananas for the protein, but also sometimes you don't feel like crunching. You just want some fruit. Protein, potassium. Sometimes you just want some fruit that ain't going to be hard. And I eat it with peanut butter. That's like my little snacky snack. I eat peanut butter with my bananas. I always loved that, even when I was a kid. What else? Oranges. I love oranges. It's too acidic sometimes, so I'll eat oranges maybe. I'll save them really for the summertime. Because, hydrating foods or whatever, I'll save them for the summertime, and then I'll eat them once or twice. And then I won't touch them again for a while. Like, I just noticed my body just doesn't like it, and that's okay. So, mangoes, I can eat mangoes all day, every day. Oh, I love me a mango, especially a really ripe one, a sweet one. Watermelon, love watermelon. Can't do cantaloupe. What else? Kiwi's too acidic. My body does not like kiwi. I don't even like kiwi. I used to eat it when I was younger because my mother would eat it and would tell me the benefits of it. Put a little tiny bit of honey or sugar on it. I don't like kiwi. Don't really care for it. I've had all types of ways. Don't like the taste, but also my body doesn't like it either. It might be too acidic. I don't know what it is. Pineapple. I do love pineapple. I can eat pineapple all the time, but I have to limit that too because acidic. It's an acidic fruit for me. And I'll eat it maybe once a month, once or twice. I'll have some cans of pineapple. I can't do the fresh pineapple. It's too acidic. I need something, or I have to make sure it's sitting in juice for a while before I can do it. But if I want the taste, I make sure that I have like comforting foods around the time when I eat pineapple so that my body can kind of balance itself out. And that's the thing, when it comes to health, we have put health on the bottom of the priority list so much because working and survival, that when you talk about your routines and your health and stuff, people will see how you're glowing. They'll see how you're living, and they'll hear all the benefits that you get, but they don't actually want to do it. They would much rather get a pill and take a pill and just shove it down their gullet and be able to continue to eat whatever it is that they want to eat. Meanwhile, all you have to do is work on these 2 or 3 things and cut out these 2 or 3 things, and you will be fine. It's like I've been seeing so many new commercials for eczema. It's a Martian year. It's a 9 year. This year is the year of the snake. Your skin, hydrating yourself. People are shedding a lot of bad habits this year, and some people are fighting to hold on. And that's fine. That's their choices. But I don't want to hear anybody bitching because they refuse to try to let go of their choices. I don't care. You have a decision to make, and you can make it. If you don't, that's on you. I do not care. But there's so many people that's like, I have eczema, this, and I have psoriasis. Eczema is caused by inflammation. Just like arthritis and a few other things caused by inflammation in the body. A lot of people eat too much dairy. I was one of them. I had really bad issues with eczema, but only in certain spots. Like I would get it on my arm really bad, across my chest. It would be on my belly, literally. My belly is like, girl. I had it on my back really bad too. And I would always slather myself in some type of thick cream so it wouldn't bother me as much. But when I started to get a lot healthier and work on my gut health, I noticed it started to go away. When I started doing dairy again real heavy, and I don't drink regular milk. Haven't in about 15 years. Ice cream. Desserts made with a lot of dairy product. Cheesecake. And I have a recipe that I found for non-dairy cheesecake that I want to try. Because I love cheesecake. Oh. But any like sour cream. I will say certain cheeses don't bother me. Like the deli sliced cheeses, They don't bother me. Or like some Sargento and some other cheeses from like Aldi. If you know Aldi, they sell like 10 or 11 in a pack. Those don't bother me as much. It's I don't do Kraft, but it's the other brands of cheeses that claim they're dairy products, and I think it's because of the cows that they use. There's like different types of cows, some that have more what do you call it, lactose or whatever in it. They're more inclined to make it cause issues with people who are lactose intolerant. I notice a difference. I notice a difference. And I'm like, I've been eating cheeses. I've eaten many cheese. Me and my mother love cheese. So I notice the difference in how my body reacts to certain types of cheeses. And I can do cheese, just not as much. And a lot of people do too much of everything. And then they're like, I don't know what's wrong with my body. Babes, you eat Buffalo Wild Wings and whatever else multiple times a month. That's what's wrong with your body. And they don't want to hear it a lot of times. There was a thread that I just commented on today of people asking porn stars about their routines. Like, oh, where the girl is. We want to know their routines. And there were still women in the comment section. There were some women who actually follow them because they do like lifestyle content as well. And they gave their routine. And some of the women who followed them were commenting. It was like, one woman did her, like, she showed her routine before she films and on a daily basis. And it's a lot, but it changed my life. Basically saying it takes a lot of effort. And you had women in the comment section say, no, some of them just naturally look like that, and some of them da-da-da-da, and ain't no amount of routine gonna help you if you don't already look like this. To me, that says I want to be lazy. Some people are just naturally just gifted physically. Some people genuinely are. But there are a lot of people that you don't even see half of the stuff they do behind the scenes. And then when they tell you, you still don't believe it because you don't want to do it. So you blame it on their genetics, you blame it on this and that, and you don't want to believe that if you put effort into anything that you do, you may get a really good result. They just want to believe, I don't have the opportunity to have what you have, so it's not my fault. They don't want it to be their fault. They just want to be able to pass the blame off to somebody. And I'm like, babes, what's your routine looking like? Because I will tell you, when I was eating like crap and when I have really bad skin. This ain't even my best. My skin, I had dark marks all across my cheeks, my neck and chest, my forehead. I had really bad acne as a kid. I was always, like, to the point, like, this one kid in my class would always bring it up. I couldn't say I was being bullied by him because he was like, think of the most annoying child with ADHD and he won't shut the fuck up. That was him. So I didn't take him seriously. And once we started going back and forth, it actually became really funny. We actually became chill with each other. But anyway, I had really bad acne, really bad scarring for years. And I noticed that it started to clear up when my diet changed. Even before I introduced the liquid exfoliant. Paula's Choice liquid exfoliant. I think it's 1 or 2%, 3%. It's been a minute since I bought it because my skin was very dry this summer, so I didn't want to make it drier. Use gloves, and you can even buy the little bottle to test it out because they have like a small bottle. Use gloves, or if you don't I say use gloves because it can peel your skin. I noticed my hands were peeling when I would just go like this. So use gloves, and to put it on, even if you use a pad, because the pad, my fingers were starting to peel even with using a pad. If you don't care about that, wash your hands really good before you touch anything or anybody, especially pets and kids. And then make sure you have like a thick layering of hand cream to help balance that out. But I love that. But even before I started doing that, when I changed my diet, and people don't want to hear that because they don't want to stop doing what it is that they're doing. They do not want to stop eating what it is that they're eating. But they also don't want to take responsibility for the fact that you may be the cause of why your body is the way that it is. You didn't know. Because I didn't know. Went to a million doctors when I was a kid. I think my mother splurged and took me to a dermatologist, and she tried to give me some cream and ointment. I was not in the mind space. I couldn't even do Proactive because it was too many steps when I was younger. Like, that's fine. I'll have acne. Come to find out, it was my gut health. For me. It was my gut health. Once I started to change that, I noticed a world of difference. Drinking more water, drinking warm water. Lemon water in the morning. My body likes that. Like just a little squeeze of lemon water and some warm water. My body loves that. It's intentional. Everybody's recording at the same time. If you hear that, it's intentional. Being intentional with yourself. A lot of people, and yes, a lot of people are exhausted, but that's how you start to become a little less exhausted when you are more intentional with yourself because you deserve it. You deserve to have that routine. And anybody that tries to force you out of that ritual and routine, they got to go. So you start like chess pieces, you start to move things in and out of your life that prevents you from keeping up that ritual, that prevents you from being at your best outside of kids. And hell, even kids. There are more and more mothers who are getting nannies and babysitters. Like even regular people, of course they have a nanny cam set up and they do background, checks. But they're like, look, I need a day every week on Fridays to just do mommy time. If they're, single mothers or if they co-parenting, they be like, I told one of my friends, I was like, Chad, if you don't call that man up and you tell him you need a few days to go, and he, after a while, started to do that routinely anyway, would take the child for 3, 4, however many days every week. But I was like, Chad, if you don't call and say, I need a few days to just myself, to gather myself, you deserve that. And society has told us for way too long that we don't deserve that. Work need to come first because you need to survive. What's the point in surviving if your life is shit? What's the point in barely surviving if you ain't having no fun, you don't have no joy in your life, you don't have peace, you're always on 10. You're always on 10. You're always ready to fight somebody, always on the defense, always ready to, argue with somebody. What is the point of living? So instead of making the decision to not live life to its fullest, you start adding in little things here and there. Yes, it was hard as fuck of me to let go of sugar. But it gets easier when you work on this, when you work on your gut health. The longer you go with better things in your body, the less you actually crave those things. And then when you eat them, it's like, heaven. You know that scene in Encanto when the sister was floating with the donkeys? It feels like that. And also the longer you go without all that junk in your body, the sweeter some of those things taste. I couldn't even do enough. I was fat, but I was also active. I used to do this there at this convenience store place that was across the street from my work. They had a pumpkin spice roll log, right? It was like this wide, like a roll, and like this long. And I started once I realized how much sugar was in it. And I realized it, but I was like, okay, I gotta stop. I ended up starting to take some of it home to my family or, giving it away to my coworkers. But it was a pumpkin spice log and it didn't have too much sugar in it. The cream cheese was just perfectly, I don't know where they got it from. I think they made it in a bag, but it was so good. And I used to eat it. When they had it, I would have to force myself to not go in that store, to not eat it every day. Because it was that good. I would walk in and be like, pumpkin spice roll. I'm like, pumpkin spice roll. But then the more it started to catch on, because people would see me with it and be like, oh my goodness, what is that? I would have to end up buying more because people would start to go buy and they'd be like, we're out. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. But it was also a good thing because the less access I had to it, because nobody really touched it before, because you could fuck up with dessert like that. So convenience store or whatever type of restaurant, like a bodega. It was like a bodega. It was kind of like, I don't know if it's going to be good or not. So, people are more influenced when they see somebody else with it. So people started to eat it, especially when I would carry it out munching. People be like, let me go in here again. But the less I ate that, the more I noticed that things would be really sweet. So when I was working in retail, I started going plant-based. So when the next season came around and I went to go get that pumpkin spice roll, it was too sweet. And it wasn't even a lot of sugar in it. Like you could tell, but it was too sweet for me because I had gone so long without eating all of that junk. And I was a lot more balanced now. So everything tasted more flavorful, which was, for a foodie like me, I'm tasting like extra flavors I didn't taste before. Like my whole palate is opened up to the world of possibilities of food. And that's another reason, a superficial side apart, it's not superficial. Beauty is humans need beauty. The world is beautiful. So only people who like to be ugly, and by ugly I mean not put no effort into anything, and also who realize how much power goes into beauty and how much power you have when you emphasize beauty. I'm a Taurus rising. And growing up, I was not conventionally attractive. I still don't think I'm conventionally attractive without makeup. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Really don't. But I love everything having to do with beauty. If it wasn't makeup, it was fragrance. It was jewelry. I got a whole jewelry kit over here that I'm going to tap into. It was nails. I had like 30, 40 nail polishes. It was decorating and all of these things. I put a little bit of beauty into everything that I did because where I grew up, it wasn't beautiful. So me and my mother made it beautiful. It was very drab. It was very cold. It was very dark. I like dark though, interiors, but it was very old and stuffy. So we had to bring in beautiful fragrances and we brought in colors and we would dress up in certain ways to add a little bit more beauty into our life. There's nothing superficial about that. And even if it is, who fucking cares? When they talk about beauty in a negative way, they're talking about the feminine. So if somebody is shitting on beauty or, oh, you're superficial because you put in effort into your life, into yourself, into your body, they don't want you to recognize your power, honey. They don't want you to recognize your power. They're jealous. And if they're not jealous, they want to control you. They want you to feel like crap so that you don't get ahead, so that you don't have a softer or easier life, so that you don't attract better things to you. I have literally gone out and been offered things simply because I was radiating from the inside out and people were like, wow. And it wasn't until I started to pay more attention to my body and myself and started to slow down and realize that I'm constantly hitting my arm and cutting myself, child. I done had bruises and what do you call it, burns and stuff from moving too fast and not thinking before I walked. So I had little bumps and bruises on my hips and stuff because I was moving way too fast. My nervous system was on 10. I was always stressed, even as a kid. I would trip and fall, and I can't tell you how many times I rolled my ankles and twisted my ankles because I don't have peace internally, and my nervous system is like a ball of yarn all twisted up. So I gotta go because it always feels like you're running away from something when your nervous system is on 10, because you are. Your nervous system is always on high alert. You don't have any peace and quiet. So when you start to notice these things and you're like, I deserve to have those small things, to build in a routine for myself, even if it's just washing your face with some Dove soap and putting on some regular lotion. I even started to slowly, and I'll say I got this from when I joined a beta to become an esthetician. I started to slowly wash my face and take time and imagine that I wanted it to glow and how I wanted it to remove the debris off of my skin and, all of these, all of this, and just take time. And it took practice because at first I was like, take the washcloth, like, get it off. I want to stay in here. But over time, I would, just wash my face lightly. And even just taking the time to wash my face did a world of difference. I learned in school oil cleansing, and I don't do it often anymore. I did it when my skin was really dry. I would do it 2 times a week, or if I fell asleep in my makeup, I would do it. And when my skin was really dry, I would lightly do it for like a minute up to 3 minutes. Not all the time. Save that for like once a month or something. Or if I would fall asleep in my makeup, I would just take my time to do this with the oil. And then I would wet my hands after doing that for like a minute or two. And then continue doing it to break down the oil for like 2 minutes. And then, rinse my face off or take a washcloth and wipe off the makeup. And then I will wash my face. I wash my face for about a minute every day. If I do my full routine before bed, I just wipe my face off, wet my face, and then continue with my routine. I don't wash it off because I don't want to wash off last night's routine. But I wash my face with the soap for about a minute. And because you're lightly exfoliating your face, I noticed, and it also takes time for this what do you call it, cleanser, whatever you're using to work its magic. So I just take my time to wash my face, you know. And it kind of feels a little fancy too. You want to get around your mouth because when we brush our teeth, sometimes it can create those dark creases around our mouth. Sometimes people miss this part of their nose, so you have extra like dead skin and build up oil right around here. So you get there. I'll go here with it. Make sure you get your nose and stuff. Of course, I have piercings, and even when I had like facial piercings, I would take the time to, go down my nose because I had this pierced, my bridge, so I would go around here. Or I would take, these fingers or my pinky fingers to get in the crevices and the creases under the eye very gently, and then I would wash it off. Doing that with no other products because I don't have any other products other than vitamin C, and I've only been doing that once a week because I don't know how my skin's gonna react to it. I notice a difference just washing my face for a minute and then putting on right now I just been doing shea butter, and I'll wear like a hat or something over my head if I go outside. Simple. Easy peasy. Like I said, warm water. If you want to drink your water out of a wine glass to feel extra fancy. Creating a ritual because you deserve it. That's the point of this. Taking out the time to think about what your body likes and what it actually doesn't like. You're not losing anything. You're not losing anything. You're actually gaining a lot. So now that I've gone without desserts, because I haven't had a dessert since 4th of July, because somebody brought over an apple pie and I think a cake. And I had both. Yep. And they left it for us, and I definitely had both. Now when I bake it, now when I eat it, it tastes even better. It's more enjoyable. It's more sensual. It's more like those commercials where somebody's eating the food and they're just like, It literally feels like that, especially because I love food. Love it. I love food. I will make even the most blandest meal when I couldn't eat nothing but beans and rice. Baby, I made sure I had some seasonings or something to add some type of taste experience to it. Even when I wasn't doing butter in my rice, I would add some seasonings to it. And it would just be like, ooh, this tastes so good. You deserve it. And a lot of people don't think they deserve it. A lot of people, it's not a priority to them because survival. It's a trap. When you start to pour more into yourself, you find you have to survive less. You find that things are attracted to you more. Better abundance and beauty and better people and better opportunities are. Because people are attracted to you more. Because people can tell. People can tell when you don't give a fuck about yourself. And the wrong people will see that and they will come and attempt to take advantage of that. So it's very important that you take very good care of yourself, even just a little bit. Like I said, washing your face for a minute, or if not washing your face, if you can't do that for a minute, a warm washcloth if your skin can handle it, and just laying it on your face. Just, not only does the steam or the warmth from the washcloth help your skin, but it just feels so good. Like I've taken it on my, like put it on my chest, and I've even done it for like when I'm on my period. I'll drape a warm towel over my stomach and just lay down and just be like, just that is so important. It's so important. So I have a video to edit on the moon today. That's going up tonight. It's moon day, so it's going up tonight. And I do have to finish filming part 2 because my body needed a break. It's been a while since I've actually filmed a video with intention and with points or a topic that I wanted to talk about instead of just doing this. So it took a little bit out of me, I'm not gonna lie. And I did film more, but I think I have to film. I think there's a few more signs I have to film. And I was going to do it all in one go, but I think I'm going to do it in parts because I don't give a fuck what people want. My body needed rest, so I listen to my body. People are like, when you going to upload this? When you going to upload? When I get ready. You can take the time out to do your research on your own, but if you want to get it from me, you're going to have to wait. And the more you harass me, the slower I'm going to take. I mean, the slower I'm going to be. Because I don't do things for other people. I do them for me. And if my body needs a break and my body needs a rest, that's what I'm gonna give it. It's seeing that comment section of a lot of them saying, when talking about the porn stars, they're like, oh, a lot of them just naturally do this and they just naturally do that. And somebody was like, a few strippers was like, you know, I had a whole routine. Like before I went into work, every single day I had an entire routine whenever I would work to make sure that I was the best. Yes, it's our job, but at the same time, when you embrace beauty, when you embrace having a ritual, life gets so much better. Life gets so much better. Absolutely. And the more you do it, the more you notice it. Put a little bit of effort. Just a little bit of effort into your life, even if it's just something small or something that you can do. Period. So, I had a lot of pasta last night. So I'm doing intermittent fasting, and it was worth it, y'all. It was pasta with cheese. It was spaghetti with cheese on baked spaghetti with cheese on it. And my roommate made it. Was so good. It was worth it. It was like, I am indulging, and I could tell my body needed the energy. So I was like, tomorrow I will do a little bit of intermittent fasting for about 16 hours. It's almost time for me to eat, and warm water to just let my body digest that. And that's also the thing. When you indulge and you enjoy, because the feminine is about indulging. A lot of people always are trying to restrict themselves too much to the point where they don't have anything. They don't have no type of joy or desire or anything in their life. So they're going without and they're wondering why they're not satisfied with life. It's okay to enjoy. It's okay to indulge as long as you have that balance. I indulged in pasta yesterday. I love pasta. So I knew I needed to take a break today and just let my body do what it do. Your body's going to digest the food. I'm going to move my body around, dance and have a good time in my room. I may go live. I need to start going live doing that. Just putting on some music. I might not be able to play the actual music because, live they won't let you. But I'll have a playlist that people can play. And I'll let people know what song I'm on. But I'll have other music, copyright free music in the background of my lives. But it just... Oh, hard, girl. What do you call it? excuse me, what is it called? When somebody's family member or their child is, your parents a celebrity and you get connections off of their celebrity, which I'm not jealous of at all. Like, you better use that connection. Most of the jobs I've gotten was because I had connections to people. I will never, ever, ever feel, it's a different story if somebody's half-assing it. Then I'm like, girl, well, shit or get off the pot. Like, Kendall Jenner and Gigi Hadid are on a cover of Vogue, and Gigi Hadid is eating Kendall up. Now, Kendall got the eyes, but she's giving nothing. I'm like, I need you to use your Scorpio energy better than that. Like, Kendall comes off like a limp noodle. And I think it's because she doesn't have any, like, trauma. Saying, I don't know that girl's life, but she doesn't have that oomph. She has to go through a something to like, I think she said she has anxiety, but it's not enough. Like, you need to go through another transformation so that you can eat it up. Gigi Hadid is just like, her face is just, I need more intensity from Kendall. It came and went in my head. I just had it. When your family, your parents, whatever, it's not important. But yeah, most of the jobs I've had has been because of connection. Just like even when I was in the adult industry, a lot of my following grew because of the women like me, and a lot of the women will retweet me. Like, I wouldn't feel like really bad competition to them, but they like what I would say, they like my content and stuff, and so they would start to retweet my my work and my tweets and stuff, and so some of their followers would come over to me, and that helped me grow my following. So I'm not, you got any connections, child, you better use them. Like, I get why people don't, because they want to go on their own merit, but if you're actually talented and you are actually skilled and you have those connections, who give a fuck what anybody say? Those people are just jealous. They really are just jealous. They want the connections that you have, and they absolutely would use those connections that you have if they had connections that were worth a damn. So, nepotism. That's what I was saying. Yep. So, let me get up, move my body. I do want this video out, and that's also the thing. I started to, instead of trying to chase money and things like that, I chase the completion of something. Not chase, but I'm like, I want to see this project done, or I want to see what this looks like when it's done, or I'm enjoying the process of filming it, or whatever. I stopped looking at it. It started to feel like a job. And when you look at something as an experience and not a job, or the process of going through it, the process of doing it and not a job, hold on, I'm on Twitter and I'm getting all types of inspiration from some of the posts on my, I don't, like I said, I don't look at it as a job anymore. I look at it as I'm creating something. So I want to see how this looks when I'm done creating it. Or this step I want to see. I want to do this process of this step, or whatever it is. I'm enjoying the process more so than solely looking at it as, well, I want all that money. Because when I look at it that way, I attract, my vibration is higher. I attract better opportunities. I attract better attention. Because it's not survival influence or driven. This is something that I'm enjoying, and I want to do it more. If I don't want to do it, I don't do it. And the last few days, I wanted to do it. We had a Pisces moon, so the energy, it gives sleepy time. So I played with the dogs and stuff, and I just chilled out a little bit. It gave sleepy time. It really did. I was trying to fight it and push it. And I'm glad I did a little bit, because it caused me to move my body more. That's what my body needed. I had a lot of energy mentally, but my body, because I was eating more food, my body was like, child, You got to do something with it. You may not be able to focus on your work, but you got to do something. So I was playing with the dogs. I was moving my body around. I was like running in place. And now today, I have more of the energy to do what it is that I wanted to do, or that the project that I wanted to continue with. And I always say this when I'm trying to force a project, because I've done it a few times. Sometimes when I just wait, I will get more insight of what direction my project should go in. And I'll say what it is. It'll be linked in the description when it's done. Because just this weekend, I was going to put the wheels in motion for this project, but just this weekend I got one more little piece of direction, and it like clicked. It was like, oh, there it is. I didn't have to look for it. It found me. It found me. It found me. It found me, baby. Oh, hibiscus tea is also good. I have hibiscus. I haven't started drinking the tea because I'm taking fenugreek, and I don't like to mix and blend things, without testing certain things out first. So I like to wait, see how my body reacts to certain things before I add something else. So, but yeah, hibiscus tea is also good. Just. Oh yeah, walking. Walking is good. I'm trying to work back up to walking 3 miles a day. So that's another reason I had to get all my calories in first, because I'm not eating little crumbs here and there and think I'm going to do a bunch of walking. You need fuel. You need fuel. You need food. And I used to walk long distances. I think the longest I've walked at my peak before it got like to 100 degrees during the summertime these last 2 years. Well, last year, I used to walk down and back, because I used to walk a long distance. I want to say it was at least 4 miles. And I do slightly remember walking 5 miles back when I had the step tracker on my phone. I would just keep walking, put in my music, just keep walking, because I had to get the energy to, and it would be like pretty good temperature, 70 something, 75. So I would slather on some sunscreen, get my bottle of water with me, and just walk. And I wouldn't walk too far away from my house in case I wanted to go in, take a break for a second. That's another reason why you have to manifest the life that you want to live, because a lot of the rituals that you are required. It's a requirement for you. It's not an option, it's a requirement, because that's the life you were meant to live. A lot of the rituals that you're going to be adding into your life require you to not be standing at somebody's cash register for 8 hours a day. Or to be driving ride share, unless you like it. Driving ride share or something like that for thousands and thousands of trips. That you clocking in and working a job is not the life that you were meant to live if you don't enjoy it. If you don't actually like it. Like, I had a manager, he loved it. He loved it. He was a people person. He loved getting everything set up. Like, he was him. Like, he enjoyed it truthfully, and you could tell. He made a good amount of money, but you could absolutely tell that that's what he loved to do. If I'm not mistaken, I think that man might have been a Capricorn. That's probably why we got along so well. Capricorns love me. I'm Sagittarius. Capricorns love me. I used to get on his nerves, but I like to think, even though he was like my father's age, he had more of an energy like a big brother. So I kind of hope I run into him one day, because I haven't been back home, and I know where I think he still works at the same place, but I want to read his chart. Because he was definitely, I think he may be in his 60s now, but he had the energy of like a big brother, not a father. So, but you could tell he enjoyed his job. Like, he did it like it was nothing, and he enjoyed being around people. He enjoyed having certain employees and would like treat us very well. That's why I don't have tolerance for certain bosses or how I would do run my business because he treated us very well. He understood what it took to have a store that ran like a well-oiled machine. You know, you got to pour into your employees if you want them to pour into you back, just like people in your life. So that was the best manager I had. He made me want to be there. You know, so I could do retail. I could do retail, but I would have to either have somebody like him, whether it's a man or a woman, working as my boss, because it wasn't really like he had a boss. It wasn't like I had a boss with him. He saw everybody's skill set and knew how to place people. That's what happens when you are aligned with certain things. He knew how to place people in their perfect little circles, or if they could do multiple things, he would, take note of that. And he would just let us be because he hired the right people and he knew how to do that. And we just worked perfectly. It wasn't unless, we had like corporate coming into our store, and then if you work retail, you know how corporate can be a pain in the ass. That he'd be like, all right, y'all, I know this store is pretty good, but we gotta, you know how annoying they are. So we gotta be on it this week. That's the only time he would be like somewhat serious. He was like, cause he said, I know I do my job well, but they don't like the fact that I do my job. But it made things a little less stressful because of having him there. He was an actual true manager. So that's the only way I would go back into retail. I would have to be in charge, or it would have to be somebody like that in charge of me. In charge, because I still anyway. But the life that you are meant to live is not meant to have all of these extra things that prevent you from having your daily rituals and living your life very slowly and more sensually. It doesn't have people in your life stressing you out constantly, because you will, one, outgrow those people. You will. Or two, those people will grow with you, which is very rare. And the more you pour into yourself, the further away you get from that type of energy. It's the truth. I've seen people pour into themselves, and because they realized they were pulling away from the friends and the family that they once loved to be around, they would immediately go back. And it started to show in their bodies. It started to show in their skin and how hard they had to work because they were fighting, separating from those people. And I'm like, you don't have to completely separate from them. You could just see them every now and again. To me, if it's hard to connect with people you once connected with, that means you're supposed to not connect with them as much as you used to. And that's okay. If you have to force yourself to see people, if you have to force a point of view and stuff, sometimes that means just a little friction. And other times you're supposed to go away and then come back. And maybe both of y'all grow and y'all can meet here easily. I do not think relationships are supposed to be hard. So the more you start to work on yourself, the more you start to see how your old life is no longer matched up with the life that you are supposed to live, or the life that you're growing into. So you having to deal with crazy ass customers, you having to clean up shit behind shit that you don't give a fuck about, you being forced to work with old people or sick people when that's not your calling. You being a nurse when you would much rather be doing something else. You being a dental assistant and staying there just because you're making good money, but you really don't give a fuck about them people or their teeth. Whatever it is, You being a teacher when you don't give a fuck about them kids. I had many teachers like that. I also dated a teacher. I was in a relationship with a teacher, and she loved being a teacher. She loved it. That was right up her alley. She loved it. But there were two people that were in her friend group that didn't like it. I think they took a pay cut and became a substitute because they couldn't do it. I think they started doing something else, but they became a substitute because it was just like, this ain't for me. And I respected them for that. I really did. They had been a teacher for a while, and once they realized, I think they came into the idea that they could do something else. That's when they started to limit their time. I think they may have started doing something after school with the kids. It was just like, yeah, this for 10, 12 hours a day, hell no. That's a good thing. And I think their energy even got better once they realized that. You deserve to have that type of life. And that's why They work so hard to make us think that we're supposed to have jobs to survive. No, we're not. No, we're not. Like I said with my manager, if you have a calling to do something, he loved it. I could see him doing that until he leave this earth. Because he when he had like a bunch of stuff on his list to do, or had like a bunch of boxes or shelves he had to put together, that man would have his music. Well, he had one Bluetooth in his ear, you could hear it, and he would just be like, he loved it. That was his calling, I guess, putting things together. And I don't feel like thinking. I haven't eaten yet. I don't feel like thinking of the specifics of what that might be called, or putting it in a category. But he loved that thing. But there was another manager that she was cool when she wasn't stressed. She hated her job, and you could tell. She hated that job, and you could tell. That was not the job that she was supposed to have. At all. At all. So sometimes you have to hold that job until you figure out what else you can do. Because there's so many options that we have now. And I'm gonna get on Divine Film Digital and just start listing all of the different things that people can do. I think the more I see people think that they don't have any other options, people don't know. And some people do need the information because they literally don't know. Like I saw one woman talking about how her parents manipulated her because they've been overbearing parents her entire life. So she moved out with a boyfriend or a husband or something and got divorced, and her parents manipulated her into moving back in with them, guilting her, and we can help you, and you got a kid, and just move back in. And they haven't done none of that. Matter of fact, they wanted her to take care of them, and it was a complete switch, so she felt guilty about leaving. And she was like, I don't have any, I can't drive, and I don't have any skills of this, that, and the third. And I did comment under the post. I don't know if she gets on TikTok like that, because I was like, honey, there's so many things that you could do. But that opened my eyes to the fact that some people genuinely just don't know what other options they have. So I'm just going to start making videos and searching the comment sections for people who are like that and just responding in videos and getting on Divine Film Digital to just post that, because some people don't know. And it's not your fault if you don't know, especially with like her. If you weren't taught to be inquisitive, yeah, that's the word. If you weren't taught to be curious and you were only taught to do as I say, don't step outside the box, you won't know. And that's not fair. That's not right. 1:17, an hour and 17 minutes on the clock. I've been seeing 1:17 and 17, 7:11, 1:17 for the last few months. And it's usually when I'm talking about something like this or I'm working on my project. So, and it's also the divine relationship, divine partnership and couple with that number. So, and I love numerology too. So that's what I'm going to be doing, helping people start on their new journey. And I knew that. Sometimes you're just not privy to the other ways that you can do what you have in your head. Because I was sitting here thinking, like, I know this one direction, but once that's up, once that's live, what other ways can I do that same thing in another way? Yeah. So now that I know, I'm going to get up. I'm going to stretch. And my stretching is more flow. It's more, if you go to my channel, I actually have one of the flows on my channel. My stretching is more like serpent, straight, Sometimes I'll go like this and all of that. Just the flow. I walk around my house doing this. Just constantly moving my body in order to keep it so it doesn't get stuck. So it can stay warm or it can stay fluid. And that also helps me to stretch less. When I'm doing all of this all day, I notice I don't have to stretch with the intention of loosening myself up all in one, like 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. Intentionally. I'm gonna stop talking. And I think I may go live right now. Today is the 8th. Yeah, it's the 8th, the day after the Paris. Paris keeps popping up for me. I've been paying attention to Paris Hilton, but also Paris the state. Paris the state. Why did I say that? Paris, Texas. Sometimes when I say certain things, I notice that the downloads that I will get after I say that thing, it will have something to do with something that happens. So I'm gonna meditate on that later. But Paris kept popping up for me, and they're opening up. I'm gonna talk about that later. They're opening up a frozen land in France, in Paris. And for some reason, the movie Frozen has been popping up for me, and I've seen that movie once, but the Let It Go song was getting on my damn nerves. And I worked in retail when that movie came out, and we had the merch, and so the kids would come in excited, singing the song, and I'm just like, but now I get it. I get the reasoning behind it. Hold on. It's not how I wanted to do that eyebrow. It always comes out straighter than what I wanted to, so I'm gonna fix that later. I think it's because this eyebrow is naturally straighter, just a little bit, so I do it by default. But I like my eyebrows to have a higher arch. I mean, technically, I just have to curve the front of it. It's not that deep. I have to do my beauty routine today. Not have to, I get to. Shave head to toe. I also, that's part of my ritual routine. I just feel more me when I'm shaving head to toe. And I used to try to fight that because body hair is beautiful. It is, but I noticed that my energy is different when I don't have a bunch of hair on me. Some people say you may feel overstimulated spiritually or whatever when you do versus when you don't. And some spiritual people will try to shame you for that. Oh, because the hair is this and that. I've grown my hair out, and I think my Aries rising this go round in this life just needs to be bald. At least for now. And then I also realized the desert is for me. I could see myself living in a desert or somewhere tropical, and I'm not living nowhere with a bunch of hair on me and it's hot as fuck. Hell no. I don't care. Oh, you could put it in the bun. Cause I could put it in the bun. Please look up that meme if you haven't. I think Pretty B made it, and me and my cousin still sing it. I could put it in the bun. But no, my head gets really hot. I have a lot of fiery energy, so the best way for me to get that out is by having the least amount of clothes on possible. So it makes sense living somewhere tropical, living somewhere desert heat, not humid heat, but desert heat. I thrive. So see, noticing things. I'm noticing things. When I'm in the desert heat, I do better. Even if it's just a little bit of humidity, too much humidity, and I feel like I don't like it. So I'm getting off. I gotta comment on a few things. Stretch, and then I'm gonna edit this moon video because I want it to be up tonight. So I want to see it live tonight. So something good is going to happen to me today. Go ahead and say it out loud. And do something for you. I will always say do something, at least one thing for you today. Just one thing. Even if that is having a sweet. If you've been feeling bad about having sweets, go on and have a sweet. Go on and have a sweet. I've noticed that when it comes to vices, the more we try to fight those vices than embrace them and allow them in our life versus trying to fight them. Because the more we fight them, the more I notice that those things tend to fight back. Enjoy your sweet, okay? And if you overindulge in your sweet or whatever else, it's okay. After you're done and you feel bad about it, you restart. That's when you restart and try it again. It's more about being gentle with yourself because the world is already too hard on you. Okay? And that takes practice. Ritual. You have to do it constantly if you have struggles with it. So every time you feel bad about it, just be like, all right, redo. Like that Cosmo and Wanda, Fairly Odd Parents, we had the redo remote. The kids' stories, the kid TV shows tell us everything we need to know about how to manipulate energy and how to live in this realm. They really do. Redo. Whenever you start to feel bad about it, that's your redo point. That's your redo point. It's okay. So, okay. Until next time, love on yourself, be gentle with yourself, and get off my phone. You run out of my anytime minutes. Bye.